We're just two friends who love the movies, call each other every morning.
Oh, what did you just call me?
I'm sorry? I just picked up the phone.
Uh, no, I don't think you just picked up the phone, Mitch. That's not
But
the
let's
way.
change the subject.
All right, dude. So, yeah, we had a few mini topics that we are going to discuss, and then a major topic. It's a big day.
It's a big
Been
day. It's a rainy day.
it's rainy day here too, actually.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah. What did you watch?
Well, we finished the third of Lori's three consecutive picks, and the third one was a movie called Holland with
Oh,
Nicole Kidman.
okay. You
Matthew McFadden? Is that his
you
name?
can go ahead and spoil this. I don't plan on
Wait.
seeing it.
Okay. I'm
It
a little uncomfortable with this.
Go ahead. I don't plan on seeing this. It did not look good in the trailers, and even after the reviews, I was still a little like hesitant. But
That's how I felt. I know, but I got a little tender towards it because it reminded me of like a movie I would have gone and rented from the Redbox. You just clicking through and you're like, "What is this?" It's better if you don't know anything about it, haven't seen anything about it. But I, like you, had seen the trailer and didn't think it looked good. But thankfully, Lori picked it, so I ended up seeing it. I say thankfully not because it was good, but because it exists. It
yeah,
has. Is it Matthew McFadden? Is that how you say his name?
Matthew McFadden from Pride and Prejudice, and
It always blows my mind that he was Mr. Darcy. Like it feels
yeah,
like before and after that he never did anything like that, where it's like true romantic leading man. But maybe he did, but
yeah,
it doesn't. It feels like everything I see him in is more like this movie, where he's like sort of a, I don't know. He's in this movie he plays a husband who is sort of surface perfect
yeah.
but also kind of has those sinister undertones. And those, I will spoil it then, those sinister undertones. I mean, you could almost, I guess this from the trailer. He's a killer. He's a secret killer, and Kidman thinks he's having an affair, and she's kind of having she's having an affair with her coworker who is played by Gail Garcia Bernal. You know this actor, of course.
Yeah,
You like this actor?
yeah, he's very good. Is it like an emotional affair or
No, I mean, it starts out that way, but I think after she proposes the theory that her husband's having an affair and they go on like a sleuthing adventure to prove that, she, even before they prove that, she sort of gives herself permission to have a physical affair with him as well. And it's interesting. I mean, it's more like that American Beauty, like the horrors of suburbia. It scarifies the Dutch culture for some reason
yeah,
because I guess fogs are scary now and everything. And it of course has a Christian, so-called Christian character hiding out, a serial killer hiding out in the church basically. He's like a big pillar in his church and just all these little things. I mean, uh, there's like in the beginning half to me, I was like intrigued, and obviously it's the cinematography and everything. It's not poorly made by any stretch, but they lose the story, and
yeah.
I actually had a weird criticism for this that I never have. You usually have the opposite criticism, but I thought they should have gone more surface level and like tried less to make deep statements about the state of culture because they didn't seem capable of doing that, the writers.
So
Uh,
you think that they should have just like just went all in like campy, maybe not campy, but just
just
entertaining, just not
exactly. They should have just because it was fun watching them kind of follow him around and try to like get evidence and uh, they even had some kind of quirky chemistry together, and but as soon as every time they were trying to do something deep, you're just like, okay. But yeah, the end kind of loses its way and kind of just fizzles out.
Yeah.
So much so that even though I watched the ending, after the next day, I was like, wait a minute, what happened in the end exactly? And me and Lori were just trying to having to kind of piece it together. It just wasn't well constructed.
Yeah,
But
it just didn't work overall.
yeah, so I don't really recommend it, but I'm not unhappy that I watched it.
So, out of five, what would you give it?
I think I ended up giving it 2.5 on Letterboxd.
Okay, so that 2.5 is pretty much middle of the road where you don't really hate it, but you don't really like it.
Yeah, I'm pretty ambivalent towards it.
All right, so this weekend, well, I watched a lot, but the two minor ones that I'm going to talk about were first of all, to continue the Halloween season, we watched the first Jeepers Creepers, which
Oh, dude, I
have you
could
seen
see
that?
that box. No, 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 but I could see that was one of the Blockbuster movie rental store boxes that always gave me the willies when I passed it.
Yeah, yeah. So we watched it, and I always forget that before Justin Long did Barbarian and Tusk,
Hmm.
he was in a horror. He was in Jeepers Creepers 1.
Hmm.
It's one of those movies where back then I watched it and it scared the living daylights out of me. It's still a little creepy. There's
That's
some
amazing.
really, yeah, there's some really horrific imagery. Um, I would say, I would say a 2.5 out of 5.
Oh, wow.
It's not one of the worst horror movies I've seen, but it's certainly not one of the better ones.
Well, I thought you
Uh,
were going to give it higher simply because it was effective in scaring you. Even
well,
today, that kind of had that lingering creepiness.
I just thought that the script was just like repetitive and just kind of like, I don't know, it's just kind of stupid. A lot of the choices they do with the script is just a little dumb. But the movie I
Okay.
wanted to talk to you about, so we do family movie nights, and it
Nice.
was
Nice.
Vanessa, me, Levi, and then Vanessa's nephew,
Very nice.
and he's like 8, and
Uh-huh.
we put on, because they had never seen it. I've seen it, and I love this movie. It's called Paranorman.
Yeah, I remember you saying you were going to watch that one.
Yeah, so we ended up watching that, and dude, this was probably one of my favorite movie nights that we had.
All
Um,
the kids enjoyed it.
yeah, like it had some creepy moments. It had some gross out moments, of course, PG level.
Yeah.
Um, it was just flat out hilarious. The voice work is incredible. Everything about this movie is top tier. I liked it back when I watched it, but after watching it again this weekend, I absolutely loved it. I know you're hesitant on what you show baby Chloe, but
Hmm.
and this movie does have it. It's so funny, man. I just want you to watch it because although it is for kids, there's just a lot of adult humor, and a lot of they're playing homage
Some of the
to
classic
like,
horror.
yeah, like the B movie horror tropes, and
Hmm.
it's just a whole lot of fun that you would not expect from a animated kids movie.
Yeah, I've heard good things about that one. I could see myself putting that on down the line.
Yeah, so I mean, overall, I'd probably give it a 4.5 out of 5. I do have my minor complaints with it, but we had a blast, man. It was probably one of the better Halloween movies that we've watched since we started.
Good memories, dude. Good memories for the kids.
Yeah. So yeah, man, let's get into the main
Okay,
course.
let's do it. Let's get this over with.
no,
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna go ahead and say it from the start, and then I'm gonna let you talk about it a little.
no,
I
no. No, I
Look,
want you.
look.
I want you to give your general thoughts.
No, no. Let me say this, and then let me go in this direction. I do not think that anyone should watch this movie. All right. To our listeners, I encourage you not to watch the movie Weapons. Okay. And I know, Sam, that you feel differently, would probably say the opposite. So I want us to get a chance to talk about some of the details of the movie, some of the good things about the movie. But that is my overall position from the word go.
Okay. Okay. So,
Okay, okay.
do,
I know
do,
that you liked it though, right?
oh, I've watched it like 3 times. I plan on watching it again,
Oh
at least
goodness.
before our year-end list.
I'm gonna
Uh,
send you some medicine.
uh, I, I absolutely loved it. Of course, there's a lot of it that doesn't really work, but I think it's one of those movies where the pros just kind of like outweigh the negatives.
Oh wow. So
Uh,
so so that's exactly the opposite of what I feel. I feel like the negatives outweigh the pros. And believe
what
me, I think there are a lot of pros. I think this is an extremely well-made movie. From the beginning, I thought, wow, this is a great campfire story. Like this is really chilling setup, really chilling premise. The iconography, the cinematic iconography where you see the kids running in like the airplane formation is very effective. Like it develops this totally upsetting villain character. I mean, I think it just does so much right, and there's so much that's interesting about it and fresh. Um, yeah, I mean, talk about some of the things that you really loved about it.
well, as you know, I love movies with structures, like different structures, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I,
I like
I
that too.
I like movies that are willing to take a chance. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, right? I just love the whole small town feel, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
They did
loved.
expert work on that. And it was filmed in Atlanta actually. And I was actually in the city yesterday, the suburb of Atlanta called Tucker, where the school scenes were filmed.
Oh wow, I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I loved I love movies about different perspectives, on a certain event,
Me too.
if they're done right, right?
And they
I
did it
thought
right. There was so much fun to rewatch from the different perspectives. Very energetic.
I loved the acting. I loved all the characters, especially oh man, his name is Austin something.
Yes, Abrams, I think.
Austin Abrams,
I
yeah.
remember him, and he had a big role in Wolves last year. That was a lot of fun. But
Yep,
he showed some range here because even though it's kind of a similar sort of a almost a derpy character, like I thought he gave a lot of depth to this junkie guy.
exactly, man. I thought he was phenomenal. Um, of course, he brought a lot of the laughs when I watched it in theaters.
Hmm.
Um, I love the whole Magnolia tie-ins with the police officer, and then
So yeah, I did notice he was Jim Curring coded the Outden
yeah,
character down to I mean the way he looked. So that was cool. What else from Magnolia were you clocking?
from well, for one, the whole I mean, it's small things, man. The whole in the police. Yeah, this. Come on now. This is like a flood of cars just ran like a red light.
That's illegal.
It was just so funny just seeing it. Like it was just all right. Like the whole herd mentality, just everyone did it. Um, no, the whole inside the police car, it's just of course he took a lot from Magnolia in terms of like the different characters and how they all connect at the very
Yeah,
end, in that
yeah,
house.
right.
Oh, of course we're doing spoilers here, people.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, man. It just it reminded me a lot, of course, there's no the way around it, but it reminded me a lot of Altman. You know,
Mm.
like if Robert Altman made a horror movie, it would probably, or PTA made a horror movie, it would probably be, you know, similar structure like this. You know.
I definitely thought the opening monologue felt very much like the opening of Magnolia in terms of the setup and the way they told the story.
Well,
Uh,
you know, that was one thing I was going to talk to you about was if you noticed the kid was almost whispering, right? And I remember when I first watched that in theaters, like everyone just was like freak everyone just went quiet, right? Like
yeah,
everyone was trying to hear this kid speak.
yeah. And
It-
when she first starts speaking, it's over black. It's just her talking, and we never
exactly.
find out who she is either.
No, that was another thing that was surprising. I didn't. Okay, I loved the climax at the end. I know that's probably going to be something you don't like, but the chaos of it reminded me of the ending of Magnolia in that all the frogs are falling. Well, in this case, all the
All the
kids
kids
are
are falling.
falling,
Yeah,
and I loved that whole scene. But I don't. One of the things I didn't like about the movie was the very last moments of the
yeah,
movie where it just ends.
yeah.
It felt
No,
incomplete, and it felt like maybe he had something more, but they simply just cut it for time. Yeah, that really bothered me even after watching it like three times.
well, I think it was very intentional, and that's one of my big complaints with it. I think it was kind of a heartless movie. But did you think that the little boy, the main little boy, Alex, was coded to be like the young quiz kid too? I kept
Yeah,
thinking of, okay, I'm glad I wasn't alone in that. I thought they think they're trying to evoke that character too, with sort of the way they give him his demeanor and his haircut and stuff. But um, I mean, it was look, here's the deal, man. I I regret watching it basically. It's funny you mentioned Tusk. Tusk, Barbarian, this, they're three movies that I think are extremely well done that I basically regret watching. And I regret even more than watching it myself, showing it to Lori. She had a very negative reaction, and so did I, to Barbarian, but her much more so. And I forgot, even though it was in the marketing, I did know it, but I just forgot that this was, is his name Kreger? Is that Kreger?
yeah, I think so.
I forgot that it was him. I wouldn't have shown it to Lori if I'd known it was him, and she wouldn't have watched it if she knew it was him. So I felt a little bad about it. But um, this guy, I don't think he can exactly be trusted. But I'm gonna tell you a story from the night we watched it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So we watched it. We finished it. We both kind of like had kind of like a bad taste in our mouth about it.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever. I was like, I even said before we went to sleep, I was like, I don't think I'll watch a movie by this guy again. I think it's like kind of with Robert Edgar, the
Robert
Nathan.
Eggers. Yeah.
I'm kind of done with him after The Lighthouse, which is a movie I thought was really, really well done, and The Witch, which I thought was also well done. But I was just like, I don't know if I can trust these guys, basically. And we kind of went to bed. Okay, so at some point in the night, we hear a big thud, and we both shoot up in bed. I thought Lori woke up. She said, no, you shot up in bed at the same time as me. I didn't wake you up. You heard the noise too. Okay, so we both wake up to a noise, and she immediately says, I think Chloe fell out of bed. She's recently switched to a bed instead of a crib.
Okay.
And so I'm like, she's like, oh, I think she fell out of bed. And so I'm still kind of waking up, right? And I just get out of bed immediately. And
Yeah.
I open the door immediately. And it's a little foggy, but her door is open, okay? And I turn to my left, and she's standing at the end of the hall, okay? And I
Okay.
say, what are you doing up? And she said, well, I had to go to the bathroom. She said, I had to go potty. I got to go potty. I was like, oh, okay, well, go in there. Good job. I'm still kind of disoriented. Lori goes
Yeah.
in there with her. I'm kind of getting dressed and getting oriented. and she uses the bathroom, and we put her back. We put her back in bed, and say goodnight. And I'm kind of back in bed, and I'm just laying there. In fact, I'm reading like the Weapons IMDb trivia, like I always do when I finish a movie. But I fell asleep before I did. And she comes back in, and she says, "Did you notice what time it was?" And I said, "No." And I looked down, it's 2:22. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. It must have been around 2:17. So my heart kind of sinks. Okay, look, I don't know. Look, she's never, ever, 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 ever gotten out of bed in the night before. It freaked us. It freaked us both out, man.
Dude, well,
2:17, she gets out of bed, walks down the hall.
yeah,
I mean, come on. Look, okay, so by the morning comes, I can't sleep. I'm up past 4 o'clock. I finally go to sleep at 4 o'clock. But I go to sleep in the living room, I just get up, I watch TV for a little bit. And just like, dude, by the morning, I'm like, okay, look, I get it. All of this that happened is normal. Like, it would have probably happened. It almost definitely would have happened either way.
yeah,
So I'm like, not going into full superstition mode. Who knows what happens in the in the spiritual realm? But I mean, the thing that I thought was, well, if I hadn't watched this movie, like, my thoughts wouldn't have even been in that planet of fear. It wouldn't have been in
yeah,
that. It wouldn't have had that. It gave that fear its like structure
yeah,
in order to like. It gave that structure which I could sort of be controlled by. That would keep me up for hours just like thinking about it. Like, did I do something wrong or something? And so like, it doesn't really matter whether. I mean, it's pretty stupid. I'm self-aware enough to know, like, okay, try to relax. I mean, it is a pretty intense coincidence, but at the same time, these strange things happen all the time. This is just a matter of chance. But I just don't think, even though I can imagine things that he's talking about, like, it's obviously school shooting coded, and that's something that's worth
good morning.
like mourning in a poetic way. And there's something to be said just about the elemental fear of a campfire story and bringing that to life in a meaningful way, that you can think about your mortality, or you can think about the missteps you might make. I mean, I can make a case for the value of the movie, but I just don't think he's a trustworthy voice. And it's not just because my kid got up at 2:17 and started flying down the hall, okay?
The what do you call it? The pin art, the thumbnail is gonna be a baby Chloe running.
Absolutely not. And nobody should watch this movie. It's just not worth it. This movie is heartless in the end. Like, it just gives you pain. And look, I know life gives you pain, but we gotta find something. We gotta find something to reach for, man. This
Look,
can't be our entertainment. Our entertainment can't be our kids, running out the house and getting traumatized to death for the rest of their life.
I'm gonna say this before I have to go. I love this movie, audience. It has its problems. I understand that. But it gave me the opposite effect. It made me appreciate my kids even more. Made me give them a hug. Made me want to make sure, I was there for them. Yeah, I think this is one of the best films of the year, but that's why we have this channel so we can discuss our opinions. So what's your score, Mitch?
Right now, probably keeping it at a clean 2.5.
Okay, well, I'm the opposite. I'm giving it I would say maybe a 4 or 4.5 at the most. But look, yeah, maybe we'll probably discuss this more because it seems like there's a lot that you need to that you need to process, that you need to talk to. I hope baby Chloe's okay, and I'll talk to you later, man.
See you, man. Have a good one.